This is the BGG Climbers list for the week ending 9/28/2022. This list is put together every week by Michael Alexander. I'll include links in the description below if you want to take a look at the list. We missed a couple weeks here because the list came in kind of late, and I was extremely busy on those days, so I just skipped that week, but we're back with a normal list. Let's get into it. There's a lot of new stuff. So number 10 is Resist. I think we've seen this one before. It's doing pretty well. I mean, it started out, upper sevens. Now it's in the lower eights. We'll wait and see what happens with this. I'm sure we'll see it again on the list. Number 10, Resist. Number 9, Trekking Through History. So this one has fluctuated a lot. I like this idea better than Trekking Through the National Parks. I'm probably going to get it at some point. I'm not sure. Probably not right away, as my younger kid is probably not quite ready for this. My older one could play, but maybe in like 2 years, I'll be getting this one to play some history stuff with them. Number 9, Trekking Through History. Number 8, Lands of Galea. So this one is doing pretty well. Obviously it started out really high here. It's come down a little bit. Now it's in the upper sevens. It's hard to say where it's going to go from here, but let's take a look at it. I don't think we've seen this one. I don't know if I remember this one. So this is probably a Kickstarter. Yeah, a game found, I guess. Same thing. Adventuring game with an open, persistent world. Everyone's actions having consequences in both the current and future games. So it sounds like a pretty... Yes. Sounds, I guess, like a legacy game, but an open world one. Maybe like Tales of Iridia is also doing. Best with 2 players. Pretty lightweight, though. So this, it feels to me like this is a game, like a family game that's in the vein of maybe a Gloomhaven-esque or the Journeys in Middle-earth style game. Maybe more like Journeys in Middle-earth. I think the artwork looks pretty decent. I'm not sure what these pieces are, but they look cool. Custom dice. Maps. I guess this is prototyping. But yeah, I think it looks good. It's lighter weight. It's probably not gonna, end up in the top 100 just because of that, but it looks like an interesting game, and I don't know if it's coming to retail. It might. Seems like maybe you can order it from the designer. But definitely an interesting kind of lighter weight campaign game. Lands of Galea. Number 7 is Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. Now, it has come down just a little bit from that 9.5, but it's still doing extremely well. I just don't see how this isn't going to be in the top 100 probably before the end of the year, because it's got 3 months left. Yeah, if I was to guess, this is going to be in the top 100 before the end of the year. And supposedly the new Kickstarter is coming out before then. I don't know what they're going to change or add to it, or if it's just going to be a reprint, but let's see. Depending on the shipping costs and everything, I may be in on it, or maybe I'll just try to play it at BGGCon. Number 7, Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. Number 6, Endless Winter. So we must have missed I'm sure it was on here last week. Obviously it wasn't in the video, but it's doing pretty well. So 8.60, it's kind of first week back. 8.01 for its second week. We need a little bit more weeks to feel this thing out and see how it's going to do. It may be too early to say, but it doesn't seem like this one is going to rise up quicker than Dune Imperium, which is actually my favorite so far of the deck building worker placement games. I don't know. I played Lost Ruins Arnak a number of times, and I just think, I guess Lost Ruins is more of a worker placement game and less of a deck builder. And with Epic Mode, Dune Imperium is kind of, I feel like, gets a good amount of worker placement, a lot of tension in the spots, and really relies on the deck building mechanic. So that's why it's my favorite. Of the 2 I've played, I have not played this game yet. This would be one I want to try at BGGCon, and I'm guessing there's going to be copies of it, or I assume there's going to be copies of it, but let's see. And as you probably don't know, this is Endless Winter. It's a deck building worker placement game. It's got, great artwork. Yeah, actually, I really like the artwork. And I believe it's, you're a Paleo-American in a Ice Age surviving, I assume. I guess you settle new lands, grow your population, and build megaliths in an endless winter. Pretty heavy. I think heavier than Dune and heavier than Lost Ruins of Arnak. So it might have that going for it. We'll see it in coming weeks, I'm sure. And we'll kind of know if it's going to, where it's going to land after maybe a month or two. Number 6, Endless Winter. Number 5, Flamecraft. So we talked about this one a number of times. I think my gut feeling on whether I would like it was correct when I didn't back the Kickstarter. I liked the artwork. I liked the look of it, but I felt like it wasn't going to be a worker placement style game I was going to end up playing a lot. And I think it's going to do well. I don't think this is going to be in the top 100, but I think it's going to be a solid, top 250-ish worker placement game. Maybe top 300. Number 5, Flamecraft. Number 4, Sea Salt and Pepper. This is an interesting look. It's not doing too well, but let's see. You delicately fold papers and a whole marine universe comes to life. Bruno Cathala. Interesting. Digital implementations board game. I'm not how sure you make a folding board, what looks to be a folding board game on Board Game Arena, but upcoming releases. So this is, I guess, new. Let's see what the comments say. Oh, so it's just a simple card game. Yeah, okay. I guess it's probably not going to do very well. It's getting a lot of ratings. I guess it must have gotten pressed somewhere. This one doesn't look like it's hitting any key things. It looks like a card game that's going to be probably forgotten about in a couple years or less. So number 4, Sea Salt and Paper. Not pepper, sea salt and paper. My Shelfie. So this is on Board Game Arena. I saw it, and I'm assuming upcoming releases, Board Game Arena. So this is, I think I heard about this one, or maybe I remember a similar game. This is about, looks like a bookshelf, and interesting. Got some 3-dimensional things that look, yeah, I guess you're actually building your shelf with pieces in 3 dimensions. It looks cool from a design perspective. It's going to be hard to know how it's going to do since it hasn't come out yet. I do think, as I mentioned, I saw it on Board Game Arena, so you can play it and see how it is ahead of time. And because of that, it's going to be really hard to predict where this is going to land. So that's My Shelfie, number 3. Number 2, Twilight Inscription. So this is the Twilight Imperium roll and write. It was kind of doing mid-7s initially. It bumped up to an 8 here. And the Dice Tower did its review, which was very unusual, I felt like. I felt like the people that liked it pretty well were a little bit surprising versus the people that didn't like it as much. I don't know. Maybe it's more of a Euro-esque Twilight Imperium. I don't know. But if you know what Twilight Imperium is, this is the roll and write version of it. It looks like a pretty complicated roll and write from I think it's multiple pads. I mean, it's got a weight of 3.16. So very well might be the heaviest roll and write I've seen. And yeah, you have like 4 different pads, I guess, per game that each person's playing on. It looks like. Overall, I'm interested in playing this. I'm not, after seeing the review, I'm not going out of my way and playing it. I also get the impression that it's not likely to end up in the top 100. I mean, roll and writes tend to not get up there. I mean, there's, I think, a couple, but I don't think this one's going to have the staying power to end up in there, but only time will tell. Number 2, Twilight Inscription. And number 1 is ISS Vanguard. So deliveries are obviously coming in. We went from 185 reviews to 344. and a 9.15. So people are really liking ISS Vanguard. I backed this as well. I am, going to get my copy of it and hopefully get a chance to try it out. This is Awaken Realms. I guess maybe their most hyped game in quite a while, which is a kind of adventure game, I guess, of sorts. But it has, it's a campaign adventure game. The campaign part kind of makes me a little bit nervous just because, playing through a campaign game just takes a very long time. And, we tend to play more new games instead of playing campaign games. I do like that. I believe this one has an app, so you don't have to read the story, which I like. I feel like reading stories takes away from the game. I wish, like, Pandemic Legacy had an app that just read the stories to you. You have this logbook, and I think you have this kind of like two phase where you have a ship phase and a landing phase. And you're going to go through, the landing phase is like kind of like more of your dungeon or adventure part, and then your ship phase is more of your like in between part. I haven't played the game, but I kind of equate it to like Gloomhaven-ish, where you have your city and road phase, and then you have your dungeon phase. I like the theme of this. I like the artwork, and I do, I like Awaken Realms production quality. The only thing I'm wondering about is, I guess, have they made a cooperative game yet? Maybe Etherfields. Probably Etherfields is a cooperative game. That one got kind of mixed reviews. So I'm interested to see how this one. Oh, and I guess Tainted Grail. So Tainted Grail was I feel like their best cooperative game, or at least best reviewed cooperative game, and they're doing a Kickstarter now for a version 2.0 of it, along with an expansion, which I consider backing, but I probably won't, just because I still haven't even played Tainted Grail, and there's a long list of Kickstarters that have been kind of backlogged that are all going to show up in the next few weeks. It seems like during the pandemic, everything got backlogged, and now it's all showing up in the fall. ISS Vanguard, as far as where it's going to end up, I think this one is not a guaranteed top 100, but I think it's a likely top 100 at this point. The Awaken Realms and the pickup of the second Kickstarter, I think, is going to be strong. I think the only question is does it continue to get 9s and 10s and 8s mostly, or is there going to be a number of people that don't like it? So there you have it. That is the BG Climbers list for the week ending 9/28/2022. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe. Thank you.